Warning, this video contains graphic images of very scary spiders and unorthodox methods of spider control. So if you're scared by looking at a bowl of spiders trying to eat each other, this video is not for you. Oh, hi there. I was doing a tidy up the side of our house and we've got some spare bricks is the best way I could describe it. These are called Besser bricks in Australia, and as I was moving them and restacking them, I've made a horrible discovery. I got my Coles multi-insect killer, which is great for killing redbacks, and if ever there's a time to put on gloves, this is it. Looks dark and scary down there, and if I get a torch in there, it's going to get even scarier. Got a sneaky suspicion that's a redback spider. It's not that big, but it will be soon. But that's just one spider hole there. The more I look around here, I can see more web, and I think the nightmare just gets bigger and bigger. I can see another spider down there. I'll just get closer. There it is there. It's a little bit hard to see against the dark background. But the best way to really inspect what's going on here is pull out each brick very carefully and try and capture whatever I grab along the way. This area here is right next to where we have the cars in our house, and it may explain why we had all those redback spiders under the cars. And there's your classic redback spider web inside there, and all of the trappings that they do. I've just got to be really careful here. I may have to put the camera down because I probably need my fullest attention, won't I? That may well be web from a previous spider home in there. I'm just clearing out all the web there. I mean, if there's real small spiderlings in there, they're so hard to see. So I'm just destroying the web. They're not the sort of spider that will scamper away. They'll tend to want to hide in a darker corner if they can. I can see an old egg sac in there and all sorts of the trappings of their web style. Let's move this brick down. Certainly looks like an egg sac there, and obviously a lot of web. And here's one I'm going to try and nab with the tweezers. I've got to be pretty fast here. Oh, they're going to play dead on me, isn't it? They can be sometimes very troublesome to get. I don't want to kill it yet. It's burrowed its way down to the bottom there. You can see it hiding from me. I have to lift this brick up. This could be one of those very strange widowy spiders, which isn't actually a redback. Oh, okay. There it is down there. Well, I can't see a redback on the spider there. There's a closer look at that spider. What do you reckon, hey? Very hard to tell, isn't it, when they're a little bit smaller? Oh, I don't want to squish it. That's a problem. Funny thing is, I don't think that's a redback. Oh, it's very hard to get it. There we are. Finally got this thing. It's got a web dragging up behind it, and I'll get it over to my illustrious jar. Here you go. I'm curious to have a closer look at that spider actually now. Oh, it's balled up there. There's a good look at it. It's sort of playing dead because it's thinking it's being attacked. I can't see a redback on this, but boy oh boy does it look like a redback spider. Look at it go. Whoa, it's coming at the camera. That was a scary moment for me, I can tell you. Parts of me is saying redback spider, but parts of me are saying it's like those mysterious spiders that I had in the spider tank. I'll just get it back in the jar. Well, Mrs. Inquisitive has turned up because, well, I've moved a few things around. You going to help me here, Fluff? Hey, you can help me find some spiders? I'll just keep pulling the bricks apart, and as I come across anything special, of course, I'll come and get your attention, hey? Ooh, there's something there. Daddy long legs, or some people call them cellar spider. Now, if they're about, do you think that would take out redback spiders, hey? Okay, I have a couple more spiders here. I think that's the shiny back black spider, which is the not so troublesome one, but I think that one down there is actually a redback. Of course, yeah, I think this is one of these. Well, I'm going to say false widow, and I know I'll be corrected. Now look at it trying to scamper away. Boy, it's going for it. Fairly rough footage, and I'm just showing you how tricky it sometimes is to get these spiders. Okay, I thought I had it. It's just dropped down to the ground there. Okay, I'm not sure whether I'm going to get it without killing it. Okay, I think I've got it finally. Oh, just dropped it somewhere. Oh, there it is down there. Thank goodness it wasn't on me. Okay, into the jar. Lovely. In you go. Come down and get it. Oh, great failure, eh? Oh, yeah, this has got a different attitude. I can see a bit of a red marking underneath it. I'd say this is a juvenile redback. It's got a different attitude. I hope you can see that. Oh, man, it is quite feisty, isn't it? I'll try and chase it. Get it to chase up. Come to Papa. Got the tweezers here. A very different attitude to that spider. Oh, okay. Oh, I keep thinking I've got it and I haven't got it. Oh man. This is tricky business. Okay, oh, sort of got it there. Hope you can see that. There it goes. Or is it? Oh, it's still on the tweezers. Get off, get off. That's what I've captured so far. I think I've got 2 of one sort and 1 of another. I hope I'm right there. I'll clear out the webs from here and move these bricks on. I don't think there's anything else substantially big to find in there. I know there's more spiders coming up. I just captured that little one there very fast because it made a runner. I couldn't get any video of it being captured. Oh, it could be a bit of a spider fight there, or are they going to mate? It's going to be one or the other with spiders. This brick here has got a number of spiders in both areas. I might lift the whole brick up and take it over where I can manage the spiders if they run, if that makes any sense. I hope this works. It's like having a handful of death. Okay. Again, it's looking like those shiny backed spiders. They actually might be a very worthwhile spider to have around. They're a little bit tricky to catch. The one thing about them is the mannerisms of their web and everything that I see here, man, it just shouts Redback Spider. And I think down there, I think you see there's a female there, and over there, that's the male. It's a bit of a smaller spider. See if I can tease the male to come up a bit so I can see him. There we are. Cool. Fluffy, you helping me get these spiders? Doesn't look like it. Pretty sure these aren't redbacks. Oh, got it. Okay. I'll try and grab the male here. It's a very small spider. What chance have I got, eh? Maybe. Oh, nearly had on the tweezers. I'll just roll this brick onto the side. It might reveal. Ah, yes, Mrs. Spider for me. And if I come in gently here, I might be able to. Oh, now you see that she's playing dead. That might be a good thing because then I can just gently tweezer her over, like very. Oops. Of course, without dropping her, Leo. Silly Leo. Okay, just very, very gently bring her over and drop her in. Now the male is somewhere on here. This is where he gets crushed. He's scampering around here somewhere. Oh, there he is. He's just there. I'm saying male. I really don't know what I'm looking at. I'm just thinking, well, boys hang out with girls normally, don't they? And I'll just get this little guy to come up here. And I remember seeing these sorts of spiders in the spider tank. In fact, I think I talk about it. Well, I've just edited the video. I know when I talk about it. It's week 11. Well, after what would have been probably an edit point, I've got the spider onto the tweezers here. This is the male, I hope. And that's, yeah, it is on the tweezers. There it goes. Here you go. In with those girls, and there should be a whole jar full of Spiderman down there. Look at that. A very impressive little catch, hey? Oh, doing some moving and shaking down there, I can tell you. They're actually having major battles down there, and the girls, okay, there's all this sort of fighting going on. It's rather bizarre. I think they're going to basically, you know, fight it out to the death. Yeah, they have a go at each other. Maybe they're quite territorial, and in fact, in the way I found them, you notice they're all in their own separate little cells. And now I look at them again, and I'm thinking maybe there's not even a redback amongst those girls and guys down there. I dare say the spider audience experts will tell me, eh? I think that's a little male just coming across now to the girls. Watch out, man, that's going to be a whole bunch of trouble, I can tell you. If I'm really lucky, I might see a spider mating, something I haven't yet seen with my spider studies. Just chasing each other around the oh, ouch, that would have hurt. The rest of the bricks here actually look free of spiders. There is a spider web of like where they've been, but I've not seen any spider activity. Well, after catching those spiders, I need a mid-video coffee. Okay, here we go. Oh, I feel better now. This little coffee mug here is something I picked up at my local post office, but Redback Spiders, yes, they look like that, but they do not make webs like this. If I just turn it around here, you'll see the wonderful design on that coffee mug, and there's also, you may have seen it before, a spider inside. It's just one of those novelty things. Dare say it's made in China. I should check before I say things like that. Anywhere between $8 to $15, so be careful where you buy those. You probably pick it up online for about $2. My son sees things that Daddy doesn't see, and I've often had like twin tracks like this up in my toy review area, and he said, "Oh, Dad, you can actually run the trains in between these two tracks, these two styles of tracks." And there's something about children, they see things that, well, daddies don't see. Anyway, that has totally derailed the video. I'll turn Thomas off, and what we're going to do is put these spiders that I've captured into this bowl here and take a closer look. I think these bowls are semi-disposable in our house, but I'm not letting Mummy know what I'm doing with it. They come in bags of rice if you buy white rice, but since I lost all my weight, I no longer eat white rice. I find it to be quite inducive for putting on weight. So that's my little warning to you about white rice, fried rice in particular. They're the foods that I just do not touch anymore. Always check the lid when you're about to do a spider paw shot. And I'll just tap these girls gently in here. Or guys and girls, should I say. Notice the way they're not... Okay, well, yeah. That was a fail because they're all still up here somewhere. Well, before I make a total fool of myself, I better make sure that these spiders can't escape this bowl. I think it's got nice slippery sides. And hopefully the spiders, when they're all in there, eventually they won't crawl out. Well, my theory about them not getting to the top didn't work. It looks like that male, and I'm only assuming it's a male, I hate to sound like an expert, can make it to the top, but I think the girl's a little bit back heavy to do that feat. What I notice about them is the girls get very feisty when they're near each other. That's why I want to get them in the bowl. I think if I carefully apply some silicone spray onto the bowl, I'll stop the male from escaping. I'm hoping this is going to work. I don't want to kill the spiders in a chemical assassination here, but I think the silicone spray is going to stop that male from escaping, and nice and slippery stuff. And I'm just checking here. Here goes the male up to the top with the silicone spray on. Ooh, it may have worked. Let's see if we can do that again. Come on, little guy. You can make it, or can't you? Dang it. Didn't work. Maybe it's best to leave the males out of this and just get the girls playing, hey? Mind you, I think I'm about to witness these spiders mating, so maybe keeping the males in there is going to spice it right up. Well, if the spiders start to get spicy, I can't show that because YouTube's got all funny about things like that now. What I will do is I'll apply a smear of Vaseline, petroleum jelly, along the top here to stop things like that. Get back down. And I think, as I learned with my spider tank, little spiders can be really difficult to control. Really difficult. They just go straight past things like this, Vaseline control measures, whereas other spiders, larger spiders, tend not to get past it. So here comes the male doing his escape plan and straight over the Vaseline by the looks of it. I can't believe that. In you go, little fella. You go. I've just applied a ton more Vaseline in here. I think someone was telling me on YouTube Teflon. There's like a spray on Teflon that stops spiders from crawling up. Maybe the extra Vaseline is going to deter the, well, I keep saying male, the little one. We'll call it little spider, hey, which seems like females, from escaping. We'll just have to wait and see, won't we? No, it's totally escaped. And in fact, the more I look at this thing here, it actually is looking like a Redback Spider. That is a male one. It's getting cranky now because it's got red markings on it. Spider experts can tell me, but I don't like the look of this thing, and I think the best way to deal with it is just there. Gone. Good night, sister. Well, I've got all the spiders which I think are female in there, and this is the weird thing they do. They do this bizarre, like, oh man, never put a bunch of girls too close to each other. They do this really, really strange. Oh, I think there's an attack going on there. This could be a fight to the death of all these girls in here. Wow. As we saw where I found these, they all had their own separate little spot. Oh, wow, I think that one... Oh, I think that one's been bitten. That was amazing, wasn't it? Wow, I'm certain that one's just been bitten and taken out. That was a very angry thing to do. Now, the question is, are these all the same type of spiders? There is one which is slightly different because it's got a matte back on it, and I think the other ones are like the ones I had in the spider tank, the glossy, I keep saying false widow, but wow, there we go, more anger going over. Oh wow, weird. Very, very strange activity. Sort of thing you go, oh, just imagine being in amongst all that. All those aggro girls, alpha girls, these ones, aren't they? Yeah, so I don't think they like being near each other and seeing this fight in the bowl here. It is just intense. Very, very intense to watch. Very unusual indeed. I'll put it this way, I don't think that's saying hello to each other. In no way. I think these girls are having a complete and utter death match in the bowl here. It's going to be like the Hunger Games in a white rice bowl. I would say one of them has been given a fatal blow. One's trying to climb up there, but I don't think it'll get past all that Vaseline. I'm not, of course. Oh my goodness me, the way they fight with each other and thrash. Vicious little things, aren't they? It's a shame I can't clearly identify them. And the problem I've had with my Redback Spider videos, even though these aren't Redbacks, is I've had about 6 different variations of identification, if not more, of these spiders. And sometimes, depending on which part of the world you live, you may have a totally different name for this style of spider. And what I've noticed here is it'll lapse into this calm, very peaceful moment where they're all sitting there minding their own business, and all of a sudden one of them will just go aggro. And it takes next to nothing really for them to start having a go at each other. They've only got to sort of touch each other and they start to get very aggressive. Anybody want to start counting the number of legs down there? I'm not sure whether any of these spiders are missing legs. Often people say, that spider's only got 6 or 7 legs. Maybe it's got, 9 legs. It's a freak alien spider. It's funny, the audience sees things that often I don't see, but then again, that's sort of what always happens on my channel, isn't it? Now, the one which I think is different is the one which I'm going to point out here. It's that one there. I might be wrong. To me, it doesn't have the shiny back on it that the other ones do. The one right in the middle of the screen is the one which I believe has been bitten, and the other 3 are still thrashing it out. I say it's the best use this rice bowl's ever had in the house, to be honest. But maybe Mummy won't agree with me. Let's just hope she doesn't know I'm doing this with one of her precious white rice bowls. Oh, I've just seen a little bit more strange activity then. It's that one in the middle of the screen is, I think, at the moment the aggressor. Licking its feet or doing something there strange. The one which is now in the middle of the screen is the one which I believe has been bitten. And we just had a manic moment then. They all start doing their leggy thing. And they, yeah, oh, okay, there it goes. Wow. It's freakish to watch, isn't it? Just seeing those legs just fraying around everywhere. They're not going far in this bowl. Oh, there's a bit of strange action going on there. It looks quite ugly, doesn't it? Very ugly. I mean, for all I know is that each of these spiders may have inflicted little bites onto each other. Yeah, they all seem to be, ooh, whoa, there it goes again. Very, very strange to watch, isn't it? Legs going everywhere. But I think when they do an attack and they go in for a bite, they will hold on to what they grabbed to get some fang action going. Yes, okay. And of course there's the other ones up here and they're just not doing, I was going to say not doing much at all, but that doesn't look like a friendly move. Best sort of wrestling in the world, isn't it? This sort, the spider wrestling. Oh, yeah, okay, they're going there manic. Whoa! It's almost like I've got to slow this up to see exactly what goes on. There's so much, oh, look at that, it's got its back up, that one. I think they do a very similar web action as Redback Spiders do when they capture something. That's what I witnessed in the spider tank. That one there looks like it's on its side. I don't know if it's that happy. Ooh, these girls are having a... Ooh, nice thrash there. Very nasty business. Another spider sort of got up. It's weird, they're not lapsing into their play dead mode where they ball up. I've noticed that these spiders were doing that as I was trying to get them out of the bricks. Actually, that spider, just one of them's got this ability to do that, and I don't like that. That's peculiar, isn't it? Mind you, we saw what we were calling the male spiders do that. So that's how it stands at the moment. It seems to have learnt how to escape, hey? Yet, I don't think the other ones have sort of learnt that little trick. Maybe this one here has got a web up. Maybe that's its little trick, why it's escaping. Yes. once they get a web up, they can sort of do whatever they want. And our little lovebirds over there, well, they're just keeping very still. And all of a sudden, the duo became a threesome there. That looking very creepy, isn't it? I've just got to keep my eye to the side because I know there's one that loves to escape. It's a bit like a very strange game of Twister, spider style. Look at them all, sort of all entangled amongst each other there. And one's just moving away. Either you're going to fight or you're going to take off and get away. Ooh, okay, there we go. A bit of a thrash then. And I think the escape artist is actually the one which is up here. I'm trying to work out which was the one that seemed like it was given a bite before. It just seems to have no effect. Whatever happened to it seems to have come back to full life. Now, in a strange way, I think if I had redbacks in here in the same situation, mind you, I don't think I'd really do it, redback spiders. I think we would have seen some decisive kills by this point. These spiders seem to be a little bit lame. Oh, and then you'll see moments like that. It's like they get the aggro and there's these other three sitting pretty and sitting still. They just roll onto each other. Yes. Front legs, the way they use those front legs, it's peculiar, isn't it? I haven't really seen them do web action. I think they have been laying web in there, because I noticed when they're in the jar for a little while there's a ton of web inside. But no, they're not aggro. Was that one missing a leg, that spider there? Maybe count the legs of that one there. I think it's missing legs, isn't it? Or is it? Look, it's about to kill something, isn't it? Oh, okay, more of that action. Yeah, I'm not seeing the aggressiveness that I would potentially see if I had a whole bunch of female redback spiders. Yes, I definitely think one of them is in trouble. It's starting to ball up. And there's one of the other spiders basically laying next to it. In fact, it's looking a little bit spiderific there. I can't tell exactly what's going on because everything's sort of black. Maybe that spider's, which is, it's got a bite in or something. That didn't look very good at all. And that spider there in the middle of the screen doesn't look crash hot. But then again, I've seen that happen before and they sort of bounce back. Yes, they get to these little entanglements here like this, a classic example, and then it becomes like this stalemate. They're all frozen. It's quite eerie, isn't it? One's moving. It's almost like they're in fright of each other, like a frozen moment. It's not a visual effect, boys and girls. Those spiders just are not moving. They're all next to each other. Oh, there you go. Bang! Strange. They've done that a couple of times. It's really the best example of it. And there they are thrashing about, trying to work out who's friend and who's foe. And almost another one of those stalemate moments. There it is there. Look at that there. Maybe spider experts can explain that. They're all completely frozen there. And then one moves, and I think they'll snap out of it and they'll all thrash around. That's my prediction here. Maybe they're going to make a fool of me. It's very eerie looking, isn't it? Not a movement from those spiders. You'd think it's a freeze frame. There's one moving there. Yeah, look at that. Oh, one moving now. Oh, okay. It's like a giant stalemate, isn't it? And then they do this thrashing. I think there's a bunch of web in the center there. And I think the one in the middle of the screen, again, is the one I always think is injured. I'm pretty sure it's the one which possibly has a bite in. Yes, I would say these spiders are quite territorial. I had a ton of them in the spider tank, the Redback Spider tank. They wouldn't have liked being so close to each other all the time. Oh yes, thrashing going on there, but I'm not seeing any decisive killing and wrapping of web. You know, for all I know, these spiders may be the perfect antidote to my redback spider problem, but nobody really knows, and it's been controversial exactly what these styles of spiders are. I had someone sent me a PM recently, and they suggested a neat way of killing spiders. Now, I might have to just jump inside and see if I've got the product that was suggested to me. He said it kills spiders within seconds. Well, apart from getting what was suggested to me, which is this product here, I've actually just printed off the PM that was sent to me, and I'll just quickly read it for you. This message came from a YouTuber called Scott, and it reads, "If it's any help, I use hairspray to kill false widows here in the UK. I think as the spiders breathe through their skin, the hairspray covers them with a coat of lacquer that hardens, prevents breathing and movement. I usually use about a 3-second burst, and it goes on to describe a few things to do. Thank you, Scott. I do read all the correspondence that comes my way. I don't reply to all of it, but I did like the suggestion. And for all I know, these could be false widows, because what I've noticed is that a lot of people are struggling to identify these spiders that look like, well, a widow-style spider. It looks like they're all gone quiet, but one looks like it has died. It's balled up there. Remember one we think got bitten in that spider attack fight thing? This is the product I asked my wife for. She says, hey, you asked for a rice bowl, now you asked for this. What are you up to? I said, don't worry, dear. You don't need to know. I hope this is going to give them a frozen moment, and it's branded Schwarzkopf. I hope I said it right. How do you say that? Schwarzkopf. Give it a shake, and probably the people at Schwarzkopf are going to be panicking now. Oh, no. That crazy guy in Australia is now doing a spider videos of our product. I'll get rid of this message here, and I'll wake up the spiders. Well, mind you, I think one of them is permanently asleep. Before I go crazy, let me just do a test spray so I see the way it comes out of the can on something I can throw away. Okay, I've got a feel for it. Wow, be careful, boys and girls. This stuff's got quite a distinctive aroma. All that stuff smells like victory to me. It looks like one spider has died, or is it just plain dead? Yeah, it's just plain dead. Okay, girls. Time to wake up and time to have a taste of something new in life. I'll just try and get them all over to one side. I'm not sure whether that's ever going to happen like that. They just do their own thing, I've noticed. Okay, I've got the product in my hand. I'm about to give it a spray, so watch very carefully. I'm after a nice fast kill. I like doing that. Okay, here we go. Give it a couple of seconds. I'll just pull the camera back so I don't spray it. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, got a face full of it as well. Let's just see what happens now. Well, I'd say, if anything, it makes them move around a little bit slower. And this stuff, I know, you put it on hair, it starts to go off, or dry, should I say. I'm not sure whether I'm seeing the nice fast kill that I really like to see, like you'd see with some of the better insecticides. Well, the spiders were doing frozen moments before, and I dare say the hairspray has really started to go off now. And maybe we have captured these spiders with the hairspray. I'm not seeing any movement at the moment, but they just could be playing games with me. That spider there is still moving. I'm hoping I gave them all an equal dose of this styling product. It's not killing them in the fashion I would have liked to have seen. I like to see a very, very fast kill. That's why I like flamethrowers. Well, it's about 2 minutes since I sprayed the product. I'm not sure whether the spiders have just gone into a frozen moment or whether the lacquer has taken effect on these spiders here. I'll probably have to come down and give them a prod to see what's going on. I'll just try this one first. No. They're still kicking, I believe. Okay, this one here. This is the one which was struggling before. No. That lacquer hasn't done it like I thought it would. Again, that's the product I use. I hope I've grabbed the right stuff here. There it is there. Styling lacquer. I believe that's what Scott asked for. Maybe these are regarded as bigger spiders. I'll just put more lacquer in there. Maybe I didn't put enough in there. Let's see what that does. Whew, there's a lot of stuff in there now. And maybe by doing that, we've finally got the result that Scott was suggesting to me. These spiders look like they're nailed. If you're wondering about the other male spider, which was in the jar, because I did have all other smaller spider, I shouldn't give it a sec, should I? I've just put into lacquer there. Doesn't like it. There's a lot of lacquer in this bowl now, and I'm just going around to these spiders here, and I think, excuse me, doing the larger spray has worked. Mind you, this one here seems to be waking up out of the lacquer swamp in there. So I think Scott gave me some good info there. It was just my very lackluster initial spray. I think it requires a lot of spray to really have an effect on these spiders. Mind you, that little guy there, he's only been in there for a little time. He's still swimming around. But from what Scott said, it seems like it's totally true. Mind you, I've just seen one just bounce up then. how has it survived all that hair lacquer and it's still kicking on? I don't understand. And I'm seeing movements from other spiders here as well. It's rather disturbing. Well, this method, well, at least it's not chemical in the sense of whatever the spider sprays are made of. To me, it's not fast enough. What I will do is take this outside and I will finish these spiders off. Well, out in the backyard, it's quite dark at the moment, but in a second it's going to get very bright. Okay, I think that's sorted those spiders out. I can't see them moving anymore, can you? Well, that's one good thing about lacquer. It burns. For me, this is a curious spider. It caused a lot of comment and people arguing about what style of spider this is. And somebody sent me a Wikipedia link and it started to explain the spider to me. Mind you, the pictures on the Wikipedia page paint a reddish brown spider. Not a black spider, but who knows, there might be variations. Let me just read this. It's got a name of Sterotoda grosser. Or was it Steatoda grosser? I'm no good with those sorts of names. My scientific name would be Black Scary Spiderifius. And I read on and it says, commonly known as the cupboard spider. Yes, many people said that. The dark comb-footed spider, the brown house spider, it's got in brackets in Australia, or the false Black Widow. Many people have had that argument about it's a false Black Widow or it's a cupboard spider. Well, I think you'll find they're all in the same basket. And just in brackets there, though, several other species are known by these names, and I think this is the mass confusion that goes on when people see these styles of spiders. I would certainly explain to you that the spiders that I found, at first glance and the way they were set up, are just like redback spiders, although they've got that glossy back on them, and there's no red stripe on the back, and there's no red hourglass underneath, and you'll find the red hourglass on Black Widow spiders and redback spiders. And maybe that habitat that I found these spiders residing in, right in the wintertime in Australia, was somewhere where I would normally not find a redback spider. Mind you, I have found redback spiders in what I would classify very cooler areas around our house when we had the infestation last year. When all those female false widows, as I'm calling them, were in the bowl, what I noticed was there was a very peculiar style of synchronicity that went on with the spiders. They all seemed to thrash around at the same time, and when they stopped and rested, and sometimes were at rest for a long period of time, this all happened at the same time. It was quite curious to see that. When these false widow spiders were initially put into the bowl, they were very aggressive, and there was lots of things that reminded me of the way a redback spider works. The very sticky web was being thrown out from the back of these girls. But maybe with this spider here, I'm not seeing that style of web flinging as honed as I've seen with the redback spider, who has an amazing ability with its very sticky web, especially when it wants to capture something and kill it. Maybe another way I could express this, because I've seen the redback spider work so well versus this false widow spider, is the false widow spider is like a tuned down version of a redback spider. In the bizarre pecking order of nature, I'm going to rank the redback spider as being right up near the top. This spider here will be quite a few rungs down. But as I saw in the spider tank, even though the false widow spider here seems to be a bit of a lame spider, for some reason the redback spiders gave it some respect and some space in the deadly spider tank study that I did on YouTube. Maybe we've learned something in this video about this false widow style spider, and I'm sure people are going to argue about what style of spider it is, because most people don't listen to what I say up the end of the videos. It's always far more fun just trolling a ton of comments on the video without ever watching the complete thing.